Hi, everybody. My name is Ben Southworth. I'm the Executive Director at Glean, Kentucky, and I'm so grateful today to have with us Dan Wu, the new Vice Mayor of the City of Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for being with us today.
I heard there was going to be food here, so
It's going to be food. I think technically, yeah. Are you nervous about this at all?
No, not nervous, but I don't know. My body will thank me later.
That's sort of what I'm worried about.
Yeah. Okay. First one.
First one, I think, is supposed to be the most terrible, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah. Kind of garlicky?
Mm-hmm.
No.
This is always kind of stuff where I take a bite and then I start judging it too soon because I always say like, "Oh, this is not that bad," and then
just kick your butt. Yeah.
So far, not too bad.
No.
All right. Well, Ben, can you think of a gleaning trip that's been really sort of memorable for you? Something that's really stuck with you?
So I think one of my favorite things. I don't get to do it as much anymore. But for years, I was kind of the guy to go out to Reed Valley Orchard, and we would have people from different churches and businesses and all over town come and just spend their Friday mornings gleaning with us. It's always just like really pretty because you get out there at like 9 a.m. and it's just this gorgeous country road drive to get out there. Those are always great, and you usually get to like involve people on the delivery side of things to multiple agencies, which is really nice, and people kind of enjoy seeing the full range of the whole gleaning thing. Yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
No, really not too bad, but I think it might get worse, right?
I mean, it's a start. That's kind of, I would say that's a little bit lower than my preference level, but I don't necessarily day to day want to go higher than that. Red clay peach.
Made in Charleston, South Carolina. So, good.
For me, hot sauces, like all sauces, it's about balance.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like just straight hot. It has to have that vinegary vibe and a little sweetness. I think it's nice.
Yeah. It definitely has like a vinegar scent to it. I would say this maybe isn't as hot as the first one, but maybe I've just kind of
or maybe
taste buds out a little
I was
bit.
going to say maybe your mouth is now like at a different level.
Yeah.
Like you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ben, in terms of when it comes to waste in the city, have you seen changes over the last several years in Lexington here?
I think people have gotten a lot more cognizant of that. I mean, I know that when we first, back in 2010, when our founders went to the farmers market, they asked a lot of the farmers what they did with the excess produce they had at the end of the week. And I mean, a lot of them were really trying hard, I think, to take it to a shelter or a soup kitchen or something like that. But a lot of them just really struggled when you're growing that much just to know what to do with all of it. So I think we've addressed a little bit of that, but I think that so many of the other agencies, I mean, Food Chain, for example, we've set them up with gleaning from Trader Joe's. I think they gleaned like close to 60,000 pounds from them last year directly. So yeah, I think like each little organization that kind of plugs into that and tries to solve it is making a big dent in things.
What I like about that is I feel like those kind of changes, they don't happen in a vacuum, and it's hard. It would be hard for you to say like, what would those changes be like if you all weren't doing the work you do? Because you're actually impacting the way people think about waste, which I think is pretty awesome.
I hope so. I mean, I know that our former executive director, Stephanie Wooten, was like so huge in the idea of like trying to be a thought leader. And, she totally manifested that, I think, over years of just, being in the right rooms and really hustling to make sure that she was always out talking about what we do. And, I've tried to pick that up, and all of us, I think, are trying to keep doing that as much as we can. So it's a local favorite.
Looking forward to this one. This is Soft's Piment from Soft's Grill, which just recently retired from business.
So this may be kind of a limited edition type bottle. I don't know. The sauce is still getting made. But, yeah.
This one,
a little bit of a jump.
This one hits you right away. I cannot wait.
Made my nose run. Do you have spring allergies or anything like that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So bad right now. So the softs that I have at home, I usually put it in soups or stews, or like a gumbo or something like that. So it's usually kind of a little more diluted into a big old thing. But here, like
right up in your face,
right up front. I'm digging it, but it's
a big jump.
It's taking a little bit of effort. Yeah.
Well,
so in the last few years, going through COVID, how has Lexington and even the Commonwealth of Kentucky supported y'all's work?
I mean, just hugely. One of the things I think about really early on, in that first month of kind of everything shutting down, was people would call us and we were emptying big freezers, because everyone's restaurants and hotels and everything, convention centers were shutting down. That started to hit me a little bit. But even in some cases, people would order, even knowing that their restaurant would be closed, they would just kind of make one last order and make sure that we could kind of do a little bit of shopping and figure out what our agencies wanted or needed the most, and would kind of special order that for us, which was just so, I don't know if you felt this way during the beginning of the pandemic, but I just felt so much anxiety and just seeing people like really stepping up to help, and try to take control of the situation in whatever small ways they could, was just really comforting.
Yeah. Take me back to, and this is a date that lives in my mind in infamy, March 16th, 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take me back to that week, and I'll give you my perspective from the restaurant side, but take me back to that week of when the governor announced that basically all restaurants were, takeout only or curbside only. That immediately had an impact on so many restaurants here, many of which had to shut down business entirely, like mine. What was take me back to like what that felt like that week and how you all kind of jumped into it?
Yeah, I mean, it was really crazy. I was driving the van around basically all day for really almost a month, just going to restaurants. I think I may have backed the van into one of the poles at the brand new Marriott downtown, trying to pick stuff up. I mean, it was just kind of this frenzy of doing stuff. But yeah, we don't typically work with restaurants in that kind of way, but there was just so much that just would have not, just would have been completely wasted.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the experience like for you with Atomic Ramen?
I mean, just uncertainty, dread, anxiety, and it really was like, for us, we knew we couldn't really do curbside and to go, so we shut down operations, for an undetermined amount of time. But we did have that immediate need of like, what do we do with this cooler full of food? Because we were not prepared for this, right? We had the food that we were going to cook for the next however many days left in it. So we kind of jumped in and immediately tried to figure out where this food was going to go, whether it was going to go to food pantries or other sort of soup kitchens, things like that. And immediately started talking to other restaurant owners as well. And that's the great thing about this community, is that everybody is so collaborative and kind of cares about each other, that immediately when this happened, everybody was like, okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? And we ended up, me and a few other restaurateurs, put our energies very soon into doing kind of relief kitchens and turning some of our restaurant kitchens into relief kitchens for our own industry, but also kind of everybody who was getting hit really hard then. So it was great to see everybody kind of take this sort of calamity, but then like really come together and help each other out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, so the first kind of context that I knew you was back at WRFL when you started doing the Culinary Evangelist, and I mean, you were connected with, I mean, how many shows do you think you did?
Culinary Evangelist, we did that for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And then that first year in 2020, just so I could stay connected with folks, because suddenly we weren't hanging out with people as much and being in contact, I started another show called Let's Get Through This.
Right. And
it was a Facebook Live show where I just interviewed interesting community members doing interesting things and essentially just saying like, how are you doing? How are you getting through this? What is different for your life and your work? And it was such a great way to just stay connected with folks.
So we're going on, this is another habanero, I think, with pineapple from Ontario, Canada. I don't know Canadians as being huge spice lovers, but I could be completely wrong.
Feels like a little it's a step back down, I think, for
I think maybe,
Taos,
you know,
and it's giving me that peach vibes from
Mhm.
that fruitiness.
yeah, this last one made me bigger jump than I think we were expecting it to be.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I'll take a little bit of a break. So Ben, now that you're executive director, what's that like for you? Like in that role, what's the team like these days? You know, how are things?
Things are good. I mean, so about this time last year, we started through this whole transition of, you know, Stephanie taking a step back and me jumping into that role. But along with that, Jimmy Early, who was our Central Kentucky field coordinator, stepped up to my position as program director. Madison McGrill, who was a former AmeriCorps Vista with us, hopped into his former position as, you know, managing volunteers here in Central Kentucky. So it's just been really a huge transition for most of us here. We also hired a development assistant back in December, as well as a new field coordinator up in Oldham County. So it's just been kind of this constant teaching people how to talk about Glean, Kentucky, and Glean, and work with volunteers. But I think it's been a good transition. There's a lot more of the clerical side of being an executive director than maybe I would have guessed. A lot of, you know, getting people's health insurance figured out and stuff like that. You know, the important stuff that Stephanie was just really good at doing, so that I never knew she was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The further up any ladder you go, the more paperwork there is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's really mild, but I'm still feeling sobs.
Mhm.
Unless it's probably also a cumulative effect.
Maybe.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I would probably, if I were to re-rank these, I would probably put that at 1.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Peach at 2.
Mm-hmm.
That classic, and then sobs.
I think
I'm
that's
a
exactly
little scared of that last one. All right, you ready?
I guess so.
This
I'm
is-
immediately getting like a smell from this that I
This
was not
is
getting before.
Literally the hot one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, I don't know.
I'll go for it. Yeah.
How about this? I'm gonna add a little to yours, and you add a little to mine.
So it's a little scary to just be out.
Well, there's also, I just want to say this bottle has a too large of an opening for
Yeah.
a hot sauce bottle.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Quite dangerous.
You know what? I'm gonna put it on the side. I'm gonna let you.
Okay.
There we go.
Deal.
So we'll see. Because that's a little scary.
This one says it's an Apollo pepper, which I guess is a super hot pepper. I don't know really
Yeah,
anything
I
about
almost
it.
said BTUs, but that's not a Scoville scale.
Scoville, yeah.
Is how you measure spice. So I'm gonna give it a little.
Although
bit
we might
of
feel
this.
a little bit like it's a BTU.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh my god. I feel slightly assaulted.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a slow ramp.
It's not slow for me.
No, it's
Yeah, that's real aggressive. That feels mean. That feels this feels personal. Like I did something to them.
that hurts to swallow too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of where I start to draw the line between pleasure and pain, and it's like, okay, this is.
I have a feeling this might last a while too, though. It's not gonna-
I'm not gonna dip anymore. I'm just gonna see if I can finish this wing
Oh
by
my
itself.
goodness.
But, whew, Lord. All right. Well, Ben, what is happening with Glean this year? What you got going?
Oh my goodness.
Answer me now.
I know, right? We got so much going on. I mean, so this is kind of the capstone of our Kentucky Gives Day for 2023. So if you're seeing this, viewers, it means that we've raised $5,000. You know, for Kentucky Gives Day, we were, you know, maybe we should have filmed this after the fact. So you know, we weren't signing ourselves up for this both ways. But yeah, we're in the middle of that. We've got Burgers and Beats coming up in September, which is our big fall fundraiser. We'll have that out at, oh my goodness. Moondance. Yeah, out in Beaumont Circle.
Okay, hold on. You still have.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking. I'll even give you a little extra.
Yeah.
Well, extra stuff, too.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, there's just kind of an uncontrolled sweating that is just sort of.
Yeah. I have allergies already, so this is exacerbating. It's opening up the flow now. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. It's painful in the inside of my mouth.
Yeah. What about you? I mean, what's on the horizon for you with the new gig?
Right now we're in the middle of budget season.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to figure out, what to do with $500 million.
Yeah.
I will say this job has completely thrown my sense of scale off the charts. Because everything we do is in those kind of figures, for a city this size. So it's really, really exciting. We're doing taking a look at goals and objectives with the comprehensive plan, which is how we kind of decide how we grow as a city and develop. So everything is brand new for me still, and probably will be for a while, but it's all really, really exciting. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and I'm sure for you, it's a lot, but it's all exciting and positive, right?
It is, and I mean, this being kind of the first year of me going through it, I don't know for you if this just feels like it just keeps creeping up long after you've had a bite of this. But yeah, there's just new stuff every single week. It seems like not a single day or week is the same as the one that came before it.
Yeah, which for me is what I love about this job.
Oh, it's a blast.
Because
yeah.
I get bored easily, and I don't think this job's going to get boring.
Well, you're doing stuff like this. I don't know if this is paid time for you, but I don't know that, I think you being vice mayor is probably a big part of the reason we asked you to be here.
Well,
so that's
I will take it as a perk of the job. Oh my God, I don't know what I need right now. I need a big piece of bread or something.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, maybe one more for you, if that's okay. So you have been involved so much with food, both as a restaurateur and doing radio shows and working with people. How do you feel like food fits in with Lexington? I hear so many people talk about Lexington being this great food city, and I obviously agree. But how do you feel like that fits in with Lexington's identity and people feeling like they're part of Lexington?
Yeah, I think food is an essential part of just human culture, and it really helps kind of define who we are. And for me, food is always a bridge to different cultures. If you don't know anything about Thailand, pad thai,
right.
And that's your entryway. And for me, I always say it's hard to be enemies over a dinner table,
yeah,
right? So it's a thing that kind of brings us together. I would love to see us get on the map as a really significant food city in America, and that's driven by our diversity. That's driven by how many different communities that we serve in Lexington, and how many great entrepreneurs that we have that are opening restaurants. And I remember somebody a while ago talked about a taco truck on every corner.
Yeah.
They were talking about it as though it was a threat.
Right.
I was thinking, sign me up.
Right. Yeah.
And in Lexington, we are well on our way
yeah.
to a taco truck on every corner. You just drive around and this gas station and that laundromat and this office, taco trucks. So I love it.
Oh yeah, I passed 4 on my way home, and it's a 10-minute drive from here.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be.
Woo! Okay.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. I don't know how much you knew you were getting into, but you got into it, so that's great.
Yeah, this is fun. I will stay away from this last dab one. Taking a drink of water cools you off for a second, and then it just comes right back up. So yeah. Thank you for this. This is fun.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Dan. You can sign up to volunteer or donate at any time at our website at gleanky.org.